Immigration is a topic that almost everybody in the United States can relate to, since almost everybody in the United States came from another country to live here. However, now immigration has become a major issue for the United States, causing both an economic and social divide in the nation. The United States has over 290,000 immigrants immigrate here annually, but has just been increased to 1.1 million per year by Congress. With this increased level of national immigration, we can't afford to keep going at this rate. Illegal immigration impacts everybody in the United States, not just people living in areas where illegal immigration is high, or legal immigration for that matter. With employment rates already at unprecedented highs, immigrants that come into the nation steal thousands of American jobs each year, preventing Americans from making a better life for themselves. The fact that jobs aren't enough for people to call to make a change. Each year it costs Americans billions of dollars to educate and clothe the families of illegal immigrants. In addition to the billions spent on education, illegal immigrants often do not pay taxes, which impacts social welfare programs that go back to helping millions of Americans. With immigration levels already at an all-time high, illegal immigration has a tremendous impact on the United States in more ways than one. With the American dream having such a draw to residents of other nations, it means that we have to have a tight control over our border, the borders in which the American dream resides in. The American dream does not just encompass the new possibility for income, but the lifestyle for which the American dream guarantees. With safe borders, lower costs of education are possible. Cleaner cities are even possible. Even more increased happiness in the nation is possible. In the news just recently, ABC reported that an illegal immigrant who has been in the United States multiple times and deported killed a woman standing on the pier. If this isn't enough to say that the United States has a clear lack of ability to control its borders, then I don't know what does. This sort of senseless killing could have been avoided by tighter security and increased border regulation. It's inexcusable and should fall back on the lawmakers responsible for our country's safety. In another story, CNN reported that another immigrant who was deported several times, burned to death a woman who was just minding her own business. He kidnapped her, brought her home, and burned her to death. Both of these women were just trying to live the American dream, but their lives were cut short because a repeat border hopper was allowed to stay in the United States without prosecution or deportation. After the incident in San Francisco, though, an uproar began about our nation's level of border security. Numerous high-level celebrities are now getting involved in the debate. However, just recently, Donald Trump made a comment about border security that again sparked a national debate, since he's now in the race to become president. However, in the midst of all this negative attention that immigration has been getting, there are some positive effects to immigration. Controlled immigration, that is. The first and most obvious possible effect of immigration is an increased diversity in our population. With an increase in diversity, our kids will get to experience other cultures without ever having to travel to these other nations. Also, we get a younger, more able-bodied workforce, because it's no secret that America's workforce is getting older and closer to retirement. For many Americans, these positives, however, do not outshadow the negatives that is brought on by uncontrolled, chaotic immigration. For some, it's just the idea that their children will have to speak Spanish as their main language instead of English is enough to call for a change. In California, already, according to CAFARO, well over 50% of the students in their public school system only speak Spanish, which is enough to start making some other legislators call to make Spanish the main language taught in some schools. Spanish is a language that is not spoken by all students in the United States, but based on some of the new laws coming into act, they will be. These billions of dollars that also go to educate these children could easily be used to help the millions of Americans who live paycheck to paycheck or can't afford to clothe or put a roof over their families' heads. With the events in recent, many Americans are now calling for increase in border security. A new level of accountability in government is needed. Everyone in the United States understands the concept of immigration, since this country was founded by immigrants, but there must be a system in place to prevent those who wish to enter illegally from doing so, and allow those who want to enter legally a quicker, more streamlined method of doing so. So, with illegal immigration impacting everybody in this country, don't you think it's time we do something about it?